We're live.
Good afternoon. At this time, will sergeants please start their recordings? PC recording is started.
Backup is rolling.
Thank you. And at this time, will Sergeant Leonardo start with his opening statement?
Good afternoon and welcome to the New York City Council remote hearing on the Committee on Education. At this time, we ask that all council staff please turn on their video for verification purposes. To minimize disruptions, please place cell phones and electronic devices to silent or vibrate. We thank you for your cooperation. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Great, thank you. Have we been joined by Malcolm Buterhorn?
Yes, Jan Kleem and I are here.
Right. And we are here to voting on proposed legislation that would report on metrics with regard to remote learning and other important data about the learning experiences for our children. Malcolm, is there anything else we should know about the bill, particular items that were in final negotiations? Any update before we go for a full vote?
No, we just expanded the categories of students that will be reported to include students in temporary housing and students in shelter. And in your bill proposed intro 2104A, we also added students in foster care. And in both pieces of legislation, we added a new level of disaggregation so we can manipulate the data on a more granular level than the way we typically have written bills in past. So I think it'll give us a lot more insight into remote learning attendance and also certain reporting on COVID metrics.
Right, and also just to share with my colleagues, we will be getting information about the number of students who were referred to summer school. Number of our students were given a holding grade called a course in progress. That is worrisome to me. We don't know where they stand. Many kids have fallen behind, no fault of their own. We have kids who still have not received the device, still don't have reliable internet, and they have until January to make up work, no fault of their own, that they've fallen behind on. Otherwise, there could be permanent impacts on their transcripts. DOE has not given us this information, and a lot of this will be required in reports to the City Council. So I do appreciate Malcolm Buterhorn, the entire education policy team, my staff, for helping move this forward and negotiating this language. I also just want to note, for attendance purposes, we've been joined by Councilmember Grodenchik, Councilmember Ampry Samuel, Councilmember Borelli, Councilmember Brennan, Councilmember Cornegie, Councilmember Lewis, Councilmember Drum, Councilmember Levine, Councilmember Barron, and if I missed any, Councilmember Salamanca, Councilmember Lander, and if I missed anyone, forgive me. But with that, we are ready. We're ready to call the vote.
Good afternoon, William Martin, Committee Clerk. Will call vote the Committee on Education, Introductions 2058A and 2104A. Items are coupled. Chair Traeger.
I vote aye.
Thank you. Barron.
I vote aye, and congratulations to the chair. Much needed information via these bills, and I hope that I have already been added to the list of supporters. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councilmember Barron, yes, you have. Cornegie.
I vote aye. I would like to be added to both bills, please.
Sure. Drum.
Aye.
Thank you. Lander. I'll come back to Councilmember Lander. Councilmember Levine.
Yes, I'd like to vote aye. Thank you, and congrats, Chair, on your continuing outstanding leadership on this.
Gordenchik. Councilmember Salamanca.
I vote aye.
Thank you. Ampry Samuel.
I vote aye.
Thank you. Brannon.
Aye.
Lewis.
I vote aye, and thank you, Chair Traeger, for your staunch advocacy. Always. Thank you.
Borelli.
I vote aye, and please add me to both bills.
Absolutely. Okay. Councilmember Lander.
Councilmember Lander will be with us in one moment. He just messaged me.
Okay. By a vote of 10 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, both items have been adopted by the committee.
Thank you. I also want to give a shout out to Councilmember Farrah Lewis, who has been very, very active and vocal on the need for technology devices for all of our children. We have thousands of kids still without devices. I know that she is advancing both resolutions and local measures as well. So I just want to acknowledge her great work on that as well. And also thank all my colleagues for their tremendous leadership and support during this very challenging times. Did we hear from Councilmember Gordenchik? Forgive me if I don't know if I heard his vote.
He's currently logged off. He was here.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Councilmember Gordenchik.
Queens is in the house.
I'm here. Very
My
few. I just want to note very few people, Mr. Chair, asked for me to speak more. So I just want to put that on the record. I did vote aye. I hope the clerk, I think you heard me.
I have you now. Yes.
And I want to thank you for your work here. It's very important. You know, when a child doesn't have a device, it's everything. It's impossible to do business. I remember I come from a time when chalkboards, and Chair Drum of the Finance Committee knows that well because he was a teacher with chalk. But nowadays, I remember at my son's school when they had just one smartboard, and now I have cried seeing some of the things that they've done with smartboards in school, especially working with children with an IEP. So thank you for your work, and I think I've said enough, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Councilmember
Lander joined us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I am here. Thank you for your just really fierce leadership on this stuff, which is just so extraordinarily important. I mean, the fact that 75% of our kids are getting all their education remotely, and that the other 25% are getting at least half of it that way, and that we haven't paid enough attention to doing that. It's just really one of the painful things of this crisis. So thank you very much for your insisting that we pay attention to it, and I vote aye on all.
Thank you.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you and for the great leadership, Chair, and everyone. And I think that, closing the gap on technology is something that we need to address. As everyone knows, it would take 100 years to close the gap of women and people of color in technology. And I think that no doubt that the access that working class have is completely different than upper and middle class have in the city of New York. It doesn't matter how hard we try, but at least we know that we try to do the best. Thank you. With that, I will aye.
Thank you. Current vote now on both items is 13 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstention.
And did we hear an estimate of time when we might hear from Councilmember Kalos?
He had mentioned 3:30 before, Mr. Chairman, when I was here before, but maybe he can duck back in. I don't know.
Okay. So I don't mind holding the vote open until 3:30 if the council folks are okay with that. I'm okay with holding the vote open until 3:30.
We're okay with holding the vote till 3:30.
Great.
Chair Traeger?
Yes.
Councilmember Kalos is present.
Great.
Councilmember Kalos, vote on introduction 2058A and 2104A.
I vote aye.
Thank you, sir. Vote is currently now at 14 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions on both.
Was there anyone else that we were waiting for? Because I know we're waiting for Councilmember Kalos.
That was all.
Thank you.
Great. So I think with that, we can now adjourn the meeting, adjourn the vote.
Okay, we opened education again.
Sergeants, please start your recordings.
How is going?
Backup is rolling.
Just 1 second. I have to start the PC. I think Cloud was started first. I'm going to pause it now. PC recording's going.
Loud is good.
Thank you. All right, so you're all set, Billy.
Thank you. Again, William Martin, Committee Clerk. Reopening the roll call for the Committee on Education, Council Member Rose. Introductions 2058A and 2104A.
I vote aye.
Thank you. The vote is
On
now
both.
currently at 15 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions.
Okay, we can adjourn
Thank
now.
you, Billy. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.